Well, hello and welcome to another Pokemon challenge. Today I want to attempt a hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon FireRed using only fighting types. The fighting type is something we ran through Emerald. I had a suggestion for this video, and I think the Kanto fighting types are going to be super fun. Now to preface this video just a little bit, I do have a bit of a cold, so the voice may sound a little more nasally than normal. So bear with me as I do try to get this video done and we get it out. Looking at the total of encounters of Kanto, we have Mankey, we have Machop, and we have the two Hitmons that we can get in Saffron. Machop and Primeape obviously are dupes, but we have a total of 4 encounters. Now, looking at this list, this is just the things that we can encounter, as we've said before. There is one more encounter in here that we can get, and that is in the form of Poliwag here. Evolving that into a Poliwrath becomes a water fighting type, so there are potential for a total of 5 encounters. The 2 Hitmons we can get in Saffron City, and because our encounters are less than 6, I'm going to implement a new rule to where we can actually get both of the Hitmons and have a very unique team. Running 4 Pokemon through this game is doable, but I want to play with both of these Pokemon as I've never played with them before. I think that would have been great for the rock run to use Kabuto, so I am going to implement it this run. I like the implementation of this new rule. To talk a little bit about it better than what I just briefed is, if there are less than 6 encounters total, we are going to catch every single one of them, so that in, like our rock run where I didn't use Kabuto, we would still have an availability for 6 total Pokemon. In runs like the ice run, that's going to take our encounter chance from 2 to 4. That run is still going to be a difficult one. However, this is going to give us a very unique team, and it's going to make some of these runs a little bit more doable. I'm excited to give it a shot. You guys will have to let me know what you think down in the comments section below. Now that we've got that out of the way, there is a very big problem with this run. Some of you may know, some of you may be wondering, but experience point management from the early part of this game up until Rock Tunnel is going to be difficult because our first encounter is on Route 22 and our second encounter is in Rock Tunnel. Now, we could do mandatory battles, minimum battles. There are only 69 mandatory battles in the entirety of Kanto. Nice. But I still think we would overlevel. We could catch an HM Pokemon and swap train them, but that just makes the grind that much more difficult, and there is better potential that Mankey faints. So what I'm going to do, it's going to be kind of twofold. We can get one of the Hitmons as a starter, and that allows us to use them throughout the entire game. Some of you complained about my Pinsir in my bug run because it's a single stage evolutionary Pokemon and it's overpowered. I don't know which one of these Hitmons is good, which one's bad. In the original runs of Red and Blue, I threw the thing in the box and never used them, and I've never really used fighting types through Generation 3. I said that in my other fighting run, that I didn't really start using these until recent history. So, we're going to put one on the team. I'm not going to use it in the Brock battle, but it is going to soak up some experience, and once we get to Cerulean City, I'll start using it in some more major fights. I hope you guys are okay with that rule change. I wanted to implement something to make these runs a little bit more unique and doable. With that being said, Mankey was encountered on Route 22, named Armstrong. It has a serious neutral nature. Our starter is a Hitmonchan named Robinson. It has a bashful neutral nature. That's pretty neat. And of course, we do have a name theme with this run, so put it in the comments section below if you can guess what the theme is. Now, we spoke about the problems with this run, and we spoke about adding encounters so that we can have unique teams and viable runs, but there are 3 different types in this game that have a single encounter. That is the Steel type, the Ghost type, and the Dragon type. I want to do runs with every single type available in FireRed, but those runs are going to be very, very challenging. As we spoke momentarily ago, experience point management is going to be near impossible with a single encounter. We have a couple of things we could do. We could do the minimum mandatory battles and go through the game like that, but our Pokemon is going to be over-leveled, and if we have a Pokemon like Gengar, this is a very doable run, especially with it being over-leveled. If we want to stay with the hardcore Nuzlocke stuff, we could catch some other Pokemon and get an experience share and do it that way. But again, that is just a heck of a grind, and getting the experience share in this game does take a lot. We have to catch 40 Pokemon and meet the guy in the guard tower outside of Celadon, I believe. I believe we have to catch 40 Pokemon for it. The other option is to implement a cheat. I don't know if there is one in you guys that are way smarter than me. This is the interactive part of the episode. Let me know if there is such a cheat where we can implement it, toggle it on and off to where we gain no further experience. This is so we can carry on and do the mandatory battles, but also keep our level cap and try to beat this with a single Pokemon type and a single Pokemon of that type. Is it possible? I think it is with Gengar at least. Magneton for the Steel type, once we get to Blaine and Giovanni, is going to be very, very difficult. And then Dratini is going to be a slow roll because it doesn't get very good moves until way later in the game. The other option that we have for these types of runs is we could catch all of the Pokemon available for that type across the 386 Pokemon that are available in Generation 3. We could catch Ghastly, we could catch Bayonet, we could catch Misdrevious, stuff like that, but I don't like that. That doesn't stay to the theme of FireRed and its Kanto roots. I want to stay to the roots of this game. It's one of the things that I hate about this game is that we can only catch Kanto Pokemon. So yeah, let me know which of those three options you want to see. Do you want to see us catch the other types throughout the game and run a Nuzlocke of FireRed with them? Do you want to see a single run? And if you want to see a single run, do you think we should forego the hard level cap, or should we implement the cheat and do a hardcore Nuzlocke of one single Pokemon? I think it's doable. I know that I can beat this game with Gengar. I know I can beat this game with Magneton. I know we can beat this game with a Dragonair, or a Dragonite rather. Can I beat it at the hardcore Nuzlocke level caps? I don't know. I've beat this game with a Metapod that only knew Harden, and I beat this game with the Magikarp, so I know it's doable. Well, after some EV training and a little bit of chit-chat, we finally made our way to Brock. Now, the thing on the bottom is a little bit messed up, but Mankey is the only Pokemon I have, and we're going to beat Brock with just it. We do get hit with a tackle from Geodude, but 2 Karate Chops manage to take it out. Onix comes out, and we just go for low kick because it's a little bit bulkier of a Pokemon, and we one-shot it. I didn't even need Hitmonchan. First thing I do in Cerulean is try out the rival battle. I know his Pidgeotto has flying type moves, and we have Revenge. Revenge doubles in damage if we were attacked the turn previously. I knew Pidgeotto was going to go for a flying type move, so we one-shot the Pidgeotto with Revenge. Pidgeotto does take neutral damage from fighting type moves. Out comes Abra, and I decide to swap into Armstrong. Let Armstrong do some stuff. It's a couple levels behind. Robinson has been soaking up the experience. Abra can't do anything but teleport. We did teach Armstrong Mega Punch. Luckily for us, even with the low accuracy, Mega Punch does hit. This is going to be the best move that we can get for Psychic types for the foreseeable future. Out comes Gary's Rattata. And of course, normal being weak to fighting, we hit Karate Chop and one-shot it. Sorry there, little buddy. I do love Rattata so much, but it's gotta go. Last for Gary is his Charmander, and you can see his team is getting to be very formidable. We'll have 2 flying types and a psychic type to take on. He's also going to have an Executor eventually. 1 Karate Chop does about half damage, and Charmander gets off an Ember. Our second Karate Chop doesn't quite kill it, and we get taken to 3 HP. Taking this thing out, oh my goodness. But we did win. just barely. I did not expect this battle to go the way that it goes. Against her Staryu, I do lead with Armstrong, and I go for Karate Chop. It's looking like 1 HP left. Luckily for us, Staryu goes for Harden. That is the best case scenario. We do go for Karate Chop again, but Misty uses a Super Potion. That's okay. Our Karate Chop does take out the Staryu with the help of a critical hit the next turn though, and out comes Starmie. Starmie is a bit scary. I forgot about this Pokemon. It is part Psychic. It is very fast. I try to go for Dig, and it uses Water Pulse, which does 30 HP of damage. I cannot survive another one. However, it's faster than us, so it tries for Water Pulse again, and I'm able to get off a Dig, which doesn't do that much damage. So now I have to swap, or I'm going to lose Mankey. Oh boy. I swap into a Swift because the AI is just going to use any old move because we were within killing range. I decided to go for Revenge after a little bit of debate because I knew it was going to go for Water Pulse. I could survive one more, but we hit Revenge and it crits. Ooh, that was so lucky we got that crit to take out the Starmie. Oh my goodness. Bit of a boss rush here. Next up is Gary on the SSN. I lead with Armstrong against his Pidgeotto and go for the newly taught Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb is a somewhat inaccurate move, but it almost one-shots the Pidgeotto. Of course it doesn't. It does drop its speed and it gets off a Gust, which does nasty damage, just about half. I'll go for the more accurate Brick Break, making sure that we KO this Pidgeotto. However, you see that Gary's team is starting to become quite the pain. Here comes his next heavy hitter, Kadabra, so I have to swap because I don't think we can tank a Confusion. It might go for another move because of low health, but no, it looks like it was going for the kill in Confusion. And I think it's going to go for Confusion again, so I decide to go for Revenge, hoping I can tank a Confusion, but it just goes for Disable. And Revenge actually does 3/4 damage, so I can go for a priority Mach Punch and knock out the Kadabra. That was pretty lucky. All things considered. Next out, of course, is Eradicate, and Eradicate can't do anything to us. A priority Mach Punch one-shots it. Out next is his Charmeleon, and Charmeleon is a whole other bag of worms. We go for the priority Mach Punch, and it looks like it's doing just over a third, and it hits us with Ember. That's not doing too much, so we can survive. I go for Revenge. He goes for Ember and gets the burn. So that lowers our attack, but Revenge does manage to have just enough to take out the Charmeleon. Next up is Lieutenant Surge, who leads with Voltorb, and I lead with Armstrong. My plan with Armstrong was to one-shot sweep everybody with Dig. However, Voltorb does outspeed us and gets off a Shock Wave, and not only is it a Shock Wave, but it's a shock to me how much damage that thing actually does. It does 17 HP of damage. Our Dig does one-shot the Voltorb, and I decide that as the Pikachu comes out, we should probably swap out, because I don't want to take too much damage. Now, I should have left Armstrong in there for one go-round, because Pikachu likes to go for Thunder Wave, and the Cherry Berry is on Armstrong, not on Robinson, so as Robinson comes out, it does get paralyzed. However, Mach Punch, we still out-prioritize, and we one-shot the Pikachu with a critical hit. Nice. That was pretty lucky. Last but not least, of course, is Lieutenant Surge's trusty Raichu. We go for Mach Punch, which does not quite half, and Raichu just sets up a double team. Yep, that's on par. I go for another Mach Punch, which does connect, and it leaves Raichu deep in the red, as it hits us with a Shockwave. Surprising? Shockwave does a decent amount of damage, but not too much to worry about. Lieutenant Surge goes for a Super Potion, and we go for another Mach Punch, connecting through the +1 evasiveness. I decide to go for Revenge, and luckily for us, Raichu does go for Shockwave, does some serious damage, and we connect with our Revenge to take out the Raichu. Nice. We finally make it to Rock Tunnel and catch Duran the Machop here. Eddie? Is that you? It has a Brave plus attack and minus speed nature. Not great with the minus speed, and if you got the Eddie is that you thing, then that means you've seen other runs. If not, you should go back and watch my fighting type run of Emerald. The next thing that I want to do is battle Erica so that the level cap can be raised from 29 to 43. We've had some evolutions on the team and taught Armstrong Aerial Ace, which is crazy you can learn that, but Duran is now a Machoke and Armstrong is a Primeape. Victory Bell misses a Stun Spore. I still have the held Cherry Berry from the Lieutenant Surge fight, so it's not a big deal, and we two-shot the Victory Bell. Very nice. Out comes Tangela, and Tangela cannot really do anything to us, and it likes to set up Ingrain anyway, so we get off a Aerial Ace, it goes for Ingrain. Very, very predictable, this game. And a second Aerial Ace does take out the Tangela. Out comes Vileplume. And just like its predecessor, Victory Bell, it's going to go for Stun Spore, I know it. Aerial Ace does a bit over half damage. Stun Spore misses, which doesn't matter because of the berry. And a second Aerial Ace KOs Vileplume. Now that we've beaten Erica, there are a lot of different things that we can do. The first thing that I want to do is get tea from the old lady so we can get to Saffron. Go over to this hidden house to the left of Celadon and get Fly. Go to Saffron, beat the dojo, and get ourselves another encounter in Hitmonlee. We can then take out the entirety of the Rocket Hideout and get ourselves the Silph Scope. Use that Silph Scope to get to the top of the Pokemon Tower, saving Mr. Fuji to get ourselves the Poke Flute. And with the Poke Flute in hand, we now can make our way to Fuchsia City. We do have to get past a roadblock such as the Snorlax, but after that we can make our way so that we can catch ourselves a new encounter in Poliwag. And as a matter of fact, this dude right here has a Poliwrath. Hey man, will you trade me my Chiding for your Poliwrath? The Hitmonlee we named Pep. It has a Brave plus attack minus speed nature. That's not great, the minus speed, but it is a nice encounter we're going to use nonetheless. After getting to Fuchsia, we can get our hands on the Good Rod and do some fishing in Fuchsia City and get Poliwag named Ali with a quirky neutral nature. Now the physical special split thing is not a thing in Generation 3, and Poliwrath being part water, part fighting makes it hard to decide. I'm going to train this thing as a special attacker. It's going to be about the only special attacker on the team, and I think this thing is going to carry the team through some major upcoming battles. So let's get some training done. So I breezed over a couple of battles, and that was the Giovanni fight in the Rocket Hideout. I'm probably not going to show the Giovanni battles in Silph Company or in the Rocket Hideout because they're never hard. Maybe if we have something like an electric type team, then I'll show those battles because his ground team is a little bit formidable then. The Gary battle in the Pokemon Tower is also one that by the time you get there, because you're not following the natural progression of the game after you've played this once, you're so overleveled that he's pretty much a sweep. Some of these battles are not that important. I used to try to show them all, and I used to try to show every little step of the way. You guys probably don't want to see that. Some of you get annoyed with little sections like this. I just wanted to take a second and explain to you guys kind of how some of this goes for me. I do a bunch of research when I plan these runs out. Once I decide, alright, we're going to do a fighting type in FireRed, I start looking at what battles do we have. What are the major battles? And some of these battles include things like Sabrina. We know she's going to be difficult. Koga's gym is going to be difficult. Not Koga, just the gym. Because he has a lot of trainers with Psychic-type Pokemon like Hypno, Drowsy, Kadabra. So what do? Well, to counter those Pokemon, we need strong physical attackers, and we have those in Pep and in Duran. Duran knows Rock Slide, and I'm going to teach Pep Return, so that he has a strong physical normal-type move to do some damage. Against Koga, Poliwrath can actually learn Psychic, so we're probably going to use that against him, and maybe not. Maybe we'll just use Surf, because it is a strong move. I try to plan out every step of these runs. Going up against a Pokemon like Starmie did throw me for a loop because I wasn't really cognizant about it, but as we do more and more of these runs, we realize some of the harder portions and some of the easier portions. I try to show you guys the stuff that matters, but I also wanted to talk that when I do these runs, there is a ton of work that goes into them, a ton of research early on. As we're going through this, I come up with the name themes. As I said in the last video, we do all of this. We do the planning, we do the run, we do the recording, we do the voiceover, we do the editing. There's a lot of work that goes into these, and I try to get you guys involved. That's why I ask all the questions. I'm putting in 100% effort, and I still don't see a single ring from nobody. Not a ring, not one. So what do I get in this engagement? Where's my ring? I want it now. So I have beaten everybody on Cycling Road. I've beaten everybody on Route 14, 15, 16, everybody in Silph Company. We got all of our teammates leveled up, and Polyrath knows Psychic. We one-shot the coughing. Koga should be easy. I don't think we're going to one-shot his Muck, but Muck does like to set up. Out comes Muck, and we click Psychic. It does well over half damage. But like I said, not a one-shot. Muck then just goes for Minimize, and as long as we hit our next Psychic, this isn't going to be too bad. I do have an equipped Pecha Berry just in case of any kind of poison, and the only thing I'm really worried about is Wheezing blowing up. Ali does make it through the +1 evasive to knock out the Muck, and out comes the next Coughing. We click Psychic, and like the first Coughing, this one goes down. One shot. Nice. I did EV train Ali to the max on special attack. Last but not least is Wheezing, and again this thing scares me because it can go boom. We click Psychic and hope for the best. Oh my goodness, that was a critical hit. Look at that, Ali wasn't having none of the boom. Nice. So up next is the Silph Company rival battle, and against his Pidgeot we lead with Armstrong. I go for Rock Tomb. His team is getting to be super scary, but Rock Tomb does well over half damage and lowers the speed, which doesn't matter. Pidgeot does get off a nasty wing attack, doing well over half of our health too. If we missed Rock Tomb here, we would have lost Armstrong, but we connect and take out the Pidgeot. Now I expected Alakazam to be the next Pokemon out, but when I read the text saying Execute was coming out, I was surprised. However, we have Aerial Ace. Execute just goes for Stun Spore, luckily, and it misses. I didn't think Execute could do much to us. A second Aerial Ace takes out the Execute. Techs out? Well, Tegs, eggs, you know. I got a cold, and this is very hard, this voiceover. Out comes Alakazam, and I think Pep is the only one that can survive a Psychic from this thing, so we swap it out, but Alakazam just goes for Future Sight. That's perfectly fine. Let's hope we outspeed. Click Return, we outspeed. Oh man, we're going to one-shot the Alakazam. We're going to one-shot it. I know we are. We have to. Yes! Oh, it was a crit. I don't know if that crit mattered, but oh, that was huge. Next out is Charizard, and this thing again is formidable. That is 4 Pokemon in a row that can do some serious damage. I'm going to swap into Duran to tank whatever he's trying to do, which is just a scary space. And don't mind the stuff on the bottom. I don't know what's going on. I think I need to restart my computer. Duran then takes the Future Sight attack, which does a little bit of damage, and then gets hit with a smoke screen as we try to go for a 4 times super effective Rock Slide, which does connect, hitting the Charizard for a one-shot. Whew, we're 4 for 4 without losing any Pokemon, and Armstrong is the only one that took some serious damage. Last out for Gary is going to be his Gyarados, which is level 35, and I know Gyarados' moveset, it's not great. The Intimidate does suck, so I'm going to swap into Robinson at full health and see what Gyarados is going to do. Looks like Gyarados is just going to go for a cool 40 damage with Dragon Rage. I know all of the elemental punches at this time, however, I don't think we can one-shot the Gyarados with a 4 times super effective Thunder Punch, and we can't. But it just hits us with another Dragon Rage. Oh, Gen 4, all of these punches are physical, so maybe we got to do this run in Gen 4 at some time. But there goes Gyarados, bye-bye. Up next is the scariest battle for us, and that is Sabrina. We lead with Pep against her Kadabra and go for return. We should have full friendship at this point. We did outspeed the Kadabra, and we one-shot it with return. Very nice. If we one-shotted the Kadabra, we should one-shot her Mr. Mime, and I believe it should be a one-shot against her Alakazam. We click return, and as it ticks down, we one-shot Mr. Mime. Nice. So we have Venomoth and Alakazam left. But she goes for Alakazam. We click return. Ooh. Oh, we tanked. Oh, 9 HP. Oh my god. Please one shot. Please one shot. Oh, and it crit. I don't know if that crit mattered. Oh, Pep, you beast. Pep has the highest special attack. That means nobody else, or special defense, nobody else could have tanked that move. Nobody. Oh, against Venomoth, I'm going to swap in Duran because he knows Rock Slide, Venomoth's Bug Poison. Oh, it just goes for Psybeam. Ooh, that could do some damage. No. Machamp ain't having none of it. We get hit with another Psybeam. Doesn't Venomoth know Psychic? I think it does. And we connect with Rock Slide, which should one-shot it. Oh my god, this battle went so good. Whew. Can you guys guess how the Blaine battle goes? Considering we have Ali, a Poliwrath, that is a water type that's fully EV trained in special attack. How do you guys think it went? The Intimidates from Growlithe and Arcanine are not going to matter even the slightest. We one-shot the Growlithe. Yep. Should have seen that coming. Blaine is basically a joke, considering you get this just before his gym. Ponyta's a one-shot. Ponyta and Growlithe are normally one-shots with water-type moves. His real threat is his Rapidash and his Arcanine. We click Surf against Rapidash, and it one-shots it. Yep, that checks out. Arcanine is a bit more bulky all the way around. So this one is going to be the truth. Can we click Surf one more time? And can we one-shot the Arcanine? The answer is yes, we can click Surf. The answer is also yes, we one-shot the Arcanine. Of course we do. Nice. Did you guys know that after beating Blaine, Bill comes and asks you if you want to go to the Sevi Islands, and you can actually tell him no. I wanted to break up the monotony of the boss battle, so we're talking about this. He just says, alright, no problem, the boat's not here, I'll wait for you in the Pokemon Center, and if you want to go do the Sevi Island stuff, you simply go to the Pokemon Center and talk to Bill. He's sitting in there, and we'll take you to the islands. You don't have to go. Super awesome. Giovanni is almost just as bad as Blaine. I haven't trained a lot of the team, but we do have a strong water type. Both of his Rhyhorns are 4 times weak to water, so his first Rhyhorn, of course, gets one shot with a Surf. His Dugtrio is super fast, but we outspeed it, and we one-shot it with a Surf. Nice. It was a critical hit. I don't think that mattered. His Nidoqueen and Nidoking are ground types, but they're only 2 times weak to Surf. So Nidoqueen comes out, we click Surf, and bye-bye. Yep, Nidoqueen goes down. Now, I can't remember how it goes with the Nidos, which one's more physically bulky and which one's more specially bulky, but I'd imagine we not one-shot the Nidoking. Yes, we do. Absolutely. This is why I said, I don't know why we need to show this battle. Last but not least is going to be his Rhyhorn. It's 4 times weak. We know it's going to go down in a single Surf. Time to go do some training before the rival battle, before the Elite Four. Last battle before the Elite Four, Gary leads with his Pidgeot, and I lead with Duran. I don't think I can one-shot this with Rock Tomb, so we go for a Rock Slide, which will one-shot it, and we get hit with a Wing Attack. And of course, all the accuracy, we missed. We get hit with a second Wing Attack, which isn't great because I need Duran to take out the Charizard. We connect with our Rock Slide, and we do one-shot the Pidgeot, as I thought we would. Maybe I should have left led with Armstrong on this battle, but I don't know if that would have changed the order of the Pokemon. Alakazam comes out, and Pep did such a good job against Sabrina that we're going to send it out to try to tank a Psychic, but Alakazam does what it did last time and goes for a Future Sight. We outspeed the Alakazam with Return, and this should one-shot it considering we are 8 levels higher. It one-shots. Nice. Ooh, that is a big threat off the table. What's next? Out comes Charizard. Of course, Charizard comes out. I decide to go ahead and switch into Duran. I want to one-shot this thing with a single Rock Slide. But there's a problem. There's a problem. I get hit with a Scary Face on the switch to lower my speed. That is not the problem. The problem is I forgot that Alakazam set up a Future Sight. Luckily for us, it failed. We do click Rock Slide, and Charizard hits Wing Attack. Oh my god. Oh, that was a stupid move on my part. So stupid. We do one-shot the Charizard, but we almost lost Duran. I cannot afford to lose any of these Pokemon. I have plans for each and every one of them in the Elite Four. Out comes Rhyhorn, so I am going to swap to Ali. The next 3 Pokemon are Rhyhorn, Gyarados, and Execute, not necessarily in that order, and I think Ali can take out the remainder. Rhyhorn hits us with a takedown, which doesn't do much, and I don't know why I'm looking at Psychic. Just click Surf and watch the Rhyhorn go bye-bye. Rhyhorn is really a good Pokemon, but it cannot stand up to a 4 times weak move. Out next for Gary is his Execute. Well, we have Ice Beam, so we click Ice Beam, and we one-shot the Execute. Nice. Bye-bye. So last but not least is Gyarados, and I think the only move this thing has that's strong is Hydro Pump. And that's fine. I go for Psychic, see how much that will do against it. It takes neutral damage from Ice Beam, and Hydro Pump just heals us with Water Absorb. Nice. Let's see how much Ice Beam does, because I think Psychic's going to put it too low to where Gary might heal. And Ice Beam does the same. Gyarados just sets up the Rain, which doesn't make sense. Go for one of your other moves, dude. The AI is very terrible in this game. Gary does not heal, and a final Ice Beam KOs the Gyarados, winning us a very hard-fought battle. While making it through Victory Road, here is the team ready for the Elite Four. We have Robinson holding the magnet that we picked up in the Powerhouse. It has Sky Uppercut, Fire Punch, Ice Punch, and Thunder Punch. We have Duran the Machamp with Brick Break, Earthquake, Rock Slide, and Strength. He is holding the Black Belt item. We have Ali, the Poliwrath with Surf, Thief, Ice Beam, and Psychic, holding the Twisted Spoon item. We got off some Wild Abras. We have Armstrong with Brick Break, Aerial Ace, Dig, and Rock Tomb, holding the Hard Stone. And last but not least is Pep with Brick Break, Return, Mind Reader, and Foresight. Unfortunately, Pep doesn't have a good moveset, but he is holding the Black Belt item. We managed to steal both of the Black Belts off the trainers outside of Fuchsia, and we picked up the other items using Thief on Wild Pokemon. I think we're ready. Let's take on the Elite Four. My plan for Lorelei is to lead with Robinson. Its fighting type moves are super effective against the Ice type, and for those that aren't Ice type, we have Thunder Punch. We click Sky Uppercut against Dugong, and luckily it one-shots. Very nice. Now she does have 2 Psychic-type Pokemon on her team, and she sends out Slowbro next, which I figured was going to happen. I do have Thunder Punch just in case. We click Thunder Punch, and it does a third. Amnesia raises special defense by 2 stages, so now our Thunder Punch is useless. Great. I do try for a Sky Uppercut, but this thing is physically bulky, and fighting doesn't affect it very well, so it doesn't do a lot of damage, and then of course the Yawn is going to force me to swap. Well played, Lorelei. I'm going to swap into Duran, maybe use some Rock Slides, maybe Strength, I don't know. On the swap, we get hit with a Surf, which does decent damage, but we're tanking it pretty well. I go for Rock Slide. and it puts it deep in the red, which Lorelei is definitely going to heal. We get hit with another Surf down to 99 HP. That's about half of our health. I'm slightly concerned, but I do decide to stay in and click Rock Slide again as Lorelei goes for a full restore. She's got 2 full restores. We hit Slowbro with Rock Slide, and it does about a third, very similar to the damage done by Thunder Punch. I switch to Strength because it's more accurate, and it does about the same damage. We get hit with 1 more Surf down to 51 HP, and a final Strength takes Slowbro out. The critical hit did not matter. Now I think Lorelei is going to send out Jinx next, but surprisingly she sends out Cloyster. Okay, I'm going to swap back into Robinson and go back with my original plan. The only thing that I didn't take into effect here, or account here really, is the weather effect that she used on the swap in Hail. And the other thing is Cloyster has Protect, and it's pretty physically bulky. I do try for a Sky Uppercut, but Cloyster does Protect, as I said. We go for another Sky Uppercut, and like I said previously 2 seconds ago, Cloyster is very physically bulky, so we don't actually one-shot it with Sky Uppercut. And it does miss its second attempt at a Protect. I'm very surprised that it tried to go for 2. What also is very surprising is I decide to swap to Thunder Punch, and Lorelei doesn't actually heal. And Cloyster doesn't go for Protect, so Thunder Punch KOs the Cloyster. Huh. Very interesting. Out next is Jinx. I thought this Pokemon would come out before Cloyster. It takes neutral damage from fighting type moves because it is a Psychic Ice type. So, what do? We click Sky Uppercut, hope it hits because it's low accuracy, and cross our fingers. Ooh, we one-shot it. Nice. Jinx is formidable for sure. It's a very, very good Pokemon. We're sitting at 114 HP as Lapras comes out. We click Sky Uppercut, and it doesn't one-shot it. Leaves it deep in the red. Lapras hits us with an Ice Beam, which is going to do some serious... No, never mind. Not that much damage. The Citrus Berry, however, is going to pull Lapras out of the healing range, so Lorelei doesn't use her second full restore, but Sky Uppercut misses. There's that accuracy I was talking about. Luckily for us, we can tank Ice Beams pretty decently. Had that one crit, we probably would have lost Robinson, but a third Sky Uppercut KOs the Lapras, winning us the first Elite Four battle. Against Bruno, I decide to lead with Armstrong because I haven't used Armstrong in a while. Against its Onix, I think we can one-shot it with Brick Break, so we click Brick Break, and the first Onix does in fact go down to a single Brick Break. Very nice. Surprisingly enough, Bruno decides to send out its second Onix. I think it's because this one has Earthquake. I click Brick Break, and I guess those 3 levels do matter because I don't one-shot it, leaving it with a sliver of health, and it hits us with a nasty Earthquake. Over half health. Man. Bruno does decide to go for a full restore. Of course he does. That's AI 101. We go for Brick Break, doing about the same damage. I was hoping we just got a low roll last time. Looks like we did a sliver more of health, but we outspeed it to take it out with a third and final Brick Break. The other reason I led with Armstrong is because we have Aerial Ace, so we can actually hit his fighting types for super effective damage. Against this Hitmonchan, I do in fact go for Aerial Ace, and I outspeed it, which is crazy. I don't one-shot it, and Hitmonchan hits us with a Sky Uppercut. Ooh, we almost lost Armstrong. Oh my god, I didn't think... Wow. I'm going to send out Ali, swap it into a Mach Punch, which is fine. That was a smart move on my side, and we'll use a Psychic to take out the Hitmonchan. I don't think Psychics are actually strong enough to take out the Hitmonlee or the Machamp or the Hitmonchan for that matter. So I'm going to go for Surf against the Hitmonlee, see what it does, and then we'll finish it off with a Psychic. No, Oh, it missed a Mega Kick. Nice. We're just going to finish it off with a Surf. Very nice. Okay, well, we almost lost Armstrong. We just have Machamp left, and our rival here, Bruno, like always, is kind of a pushover. Surf does just over half damage. We miss a Rock Tomb, or Machamp misses a Rock Tomb. And he heals up with a Citrus Berry, so we're going to go for Psychic. I hope it does a little bit more damage so that we can take this thing out. Yes. Nice. Nice. Never worried. Never was worried for a minute. So against Agatha, we decide to lead with Ali, of course. It knows Psychic. Let's click Psychic and see how much damage does it do. Do we one-shot the Gengar? And the answer is no. We leave it on a sliver of health, but we do get this special defense drop. Super nice. Gengar does get a double team, so provided we can hit through the double team, a single Psychic should one-shot after the full restore heal. Agatha does heal with a full restore, and our Psychic misses. We do get one more chance because we outspeed it, and we actually go through the double team to one-shot the Gengar. Very nice. Agatha's team is annoying with Hypnosis and status conditions and things like that. She sends out Golbat, we click Psychic, and it one-shots the Golbat. Very, very nice. Out next for Agatha is her Haunter. We couldn't one-shot her Gengar, but this Haunter we should be able to one-shot. It's a level lower and not as bulky. Psychic hits. It's a one-shot. Sweet. That's 3 out of 5 done for Agatha. Out next for Agatha is her last Gengar, the more bulky and scary one. It goes for Sludge Bomb, which does... not bad. Just over 30 HP of damage. And of course, Psychic is not going to one-shot it. It is going to put it deep in the red, but its Citrus Berry should pull it out of healing range from a full restore. Provided we hit with Psychic, we'll be good, but Gengar outspeeds us and hits us with a Hypnosis. I try to stay in with Poliwrath here. We get hit with a Sludge Bomb that does 30 or so HP of damage, and we stay asleep. We get hit with another Sludge Bomb, dropping us to 81 HP. We continue to stay asleep. We get hit with another Sludge Bomb that takes us down to 46 HP, and rather than risking it, I decide to swap into another Pokemon. I decide to go for Duran. Duran swaps in on a Nightmare that misses, and of course gets outsped and hit with a Hypnosis on the next turn. Gengar hits us with a Nightmare, but we do wake up the next turn and hit a Rock Slide to KO the Gengar. Golly, that was an annoying fight. Last but not least is her Arbok. Her Poison-type team really is a pain in the butt. Intimidate drops our attack. That's no matter, we'll stay in. We get hit with a Sludge Bomb. And we get Poison, which is wonderful because Guts activates. So Rock Slide is now double in damage. And provided we get a little bit higher of a roll the next turn, we should be able to take this thing out. If not, we'll swap to another Pokemon because we're getting pretty low on health. We click Rock Slide and we take out the Arbok, defeating Agatha. Nice. I was not prepared for this battle. As much as I thought I was, I do lead with Ali against Gyarados to soak up the Intimidate, and from fighting our rivals Gyarados, I figured 3 Psychics will take this thing out. We click Psychic, and it does a little over a third, and we just get hit with Dragon Rage. That's perfect. It would be nice if Lance tried to go for Hydro Pump, but I think he's smarter than Gary. Gyarados does have Hyper Beam that would do some serious damage. The second round, we get off another Psychic, and he hits us with another Dragon Rage, taking us to 109 HP. A third and final Psychic take the Gyarados out. What I was not prepared for is the Aerodactyl that is coming out. This thing outspeeds us, hits us with a nasty wing attack, and if our Surf does not KO, it is going to sweep the entire team. I was literally holding my breath the whole time. Oh my goodness, we took out the Aerodactyl with a single Surf. I forgot completely about that Pokemon. Now, Dragonite's going to come out, and it has Wing Attack as well. With the low health of Ali, it should just click a random move, which is probably going to be Outrage. So I'm checking my Pokemon stats here to see which one I really want to send out. And I'm going to go for Duran that has a Rock Slide. I think we can tank a couple of Outrages, and I'm really hoping it goes for Outrage and not Wing Attack. Nice. Normally, this thing will go for the stronger move in Wing Attack, but because we were at such low health, it just went for a random move. We do tank 2 Outrages, and we click Rock Slide. Oh, and it crit! Oh, it crit! Oh my god, that crit was huge. This thing would have taken us out. It didn't get confused due to fatigue, so it was going to hit us with another Outrage. I don't know. One of his Dragonairs come out, and I decide to swap into Armstrong, thinking that this is the one that likes to use Thunder Wave. However, on the swap, we get hit with Dragon Rage. So I don't think this is the one that knows Thunder Wave. I do hit it with a Rock Tomb. Try to hit it with a Rock Tomb. It misses. It hits us with another Dragon Rage. Again, I'm going for Rock Tomb to try to lower its speed. It connects. It does decent amount of damage, actually. We could 3-shot this thing with Rock Tomb. It goes for Safeguard, which doesn't matter. We've already got the speed drop, and I decide to swap. We're going to swap in Robinson because it knows Ice Punch. We get hit with an Outrage, which we tank fairly well. This thing doesn't hit as hard as Dragonite, and Robinson does have a pretty decent special defense. Ice Punch doesn't quite KO this thing. Dragonair's locked into Outrage, so Lance can't heal, and we take out the Dragonair with a follow-up Ice Punch. Whew. One more Dragonair to go, and we still got a healthy Pep. Everybody else is looking a little more worse for wear. This Dragonair gets hit with an Ice Punch as it comes out. Because we outspeed, it does a little bit over half damage, but it hits us with a Thunder Wave. It now outspeeds us, and I don't really want to deal with the paralysis, so I decide to swap into Pep, our last healthy Pokemon. We don't have a super effective move, but I think Return will do just enough damage. We get hit with Outrage on the switch. It does a fair amount of damage, tanked it pretty well. We click Return, wait for the animation to finish, and watch the health bar tick to 0. Beating Lance, not losing a single Pokemon. Oh my goodness. Deathless run? Maybe. The last battle of the run, I want a rematch or a repeat battle of Duran versus Pidgeot. We click Rock Slide and Pidgeot hits us with Feather Dance. That is the absolute worst thing that could happen. Because of the subsequent Feather Dance, our attack is dropped 2 stages, and Rock Slide doesn't even do half. I decide to go for Strength on the next turn, not wanting to drop this thing into healing range, and we get hit with a fairly nasty Aerial Ace. Strength does do very little damage, which is perfect. We get hit with another Aerial Ace, and I hold my breath. Rock Slide connects. Nice. That's going to take out the Pidgeot, and leading with Duran is going to bait out the Alakazam, which is the whole strategy here. Out comes Alakazam, and I did use all of my rare candies on Pep, hoping we can tank a Psychic and outspeed the Alakazam. We do swap into a Psychic, which does a considerable amount of damage, dropping us to 64 HP. We do click Return. We outspeed the Alakazam, which is wonderful, and considering that we are 15 levels higher than it, we one-shot it. Very nice. That is 2 major threats taken care of. Out next for Gary is going to be his Charizard with Stab, super effective Aerial Ace. I can't really swap anything in that's going to get hit with a couple of Aerial Aces and then continue to use them to defeat the rest of the team. So we click Return, doing well over half damage, and we get taken out by a Stab, super effective Aerial Ace from Charizard. Pep, thank you so much. You did exactly what I needed you to do, bringing Ali on a fairly safe switch-in. Citrus Berry heals up a little bit of health for Charizard, but we do click Surf. We actually get outsped and get hit with a fairly nasty Aerial Ace. I didn't expect that, but Surf is definitely going to be enough to take out the Charizard. Never mind the stuff happening at the bottom, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, out next for Champion Gary is going to be his Executor. We do have Ice Beam to answer his Executor. We click Ice Beam, and it crits, one-shotting the Executor. Oh, again, Pep, your sacrifice was much needed. Ali is able to come in and clean up the back end. I don't think Robinson or Armstrong could do much for us in this fight. Rhydon, we click Surf. Rhydon goes away because it's 4 times weak to Surf. We've said this I don't know how many times. Bye-bye, Rhydon. What a battle. What a battle this has been. The final Pokemon for Champion Gary is Gyarados, which of course hits us with an Intimidate that doesn't matter against our special attacker. We've been in this seat before. We click Psychic, and it doesn't look like it does a third, but it gets the special defense drop, which is super nice. We just get hit with Thrash, which is okay. Ooh, that was actually a lot of damage. We should be able to finish off this Gyarados with 2 Psychics. Can we tank one more Thrash? The answer is yes. At 22 HP, we click Psychic one final time, and the Gyarados goes down, winning us the battle, winning us the run. Wow. I truly love the fighting types. They have come a long way since Generation 1, and I know as the generations progress, they just got better and better. This was a very good team, a very unique team, and Duran, aka Eddie, did a lot more for us in this run than he did over in Hoenn. Poliwrath, an amazing Pokemon. Again, Duran, awesome. Ali, superstar of the team. Robinson, unfortunately, needs the physical special split. Armstrong had a great range. And Pep, you were a beautiful counter to all of the game's Alakazams. Look at the team. They're amazing. The theme of this run is like world-famous boxers from the early era of boxing. These are old boxing names. Ali should have given it away if you didn't know that. Like I said, I had a ton of fun running these Pokemon through, and I actually want to do a fighting type run of a Gen 4 game. I would love to use Hitmonchan with the physical special split. If we do like a Heart Gold run, that is possible because we can get ourselves a Tyrogue. Anyway, had a lot of fun doing this run. We didn't have too many challenges. This was a pretty quick run. Sabrina was a challenge. And then the Elite Four, of course, as it should have been, was quite a challenge. I hope you guys enjoyed this run as well. I'm not sure what the next run is going to be. I do need to finish my normal type run over in Heart Gold on the Kanto side of things. I am looking at another Emerald run here very soon as well, so stay tuned for that. Hope you guys enjoyed this run. Hopefully this comes out right before Christmas, so Merry Holidays, Happy Christmas, all of that stuff. Hope you guys have a great holiday. Hope I get a little bit better here soon so that we can continue on these runs. The voiceover portion of this was quite difficult, but thanks for bearing with me. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the routine. I will see you guys on the next one.